What's up everybody, my name is ThymeShock, but you can call me Tater, and these are my thoughts on E3 2019. I'm sorry if the green screen looks a little bit off, I haven't properly lit it or whatever, and it just isn't working, but that's okay. We'll look back on this in the future and we'll laugh and be like, how silly I was. Anyways, let's get to E3 2019, because I want to kind of go over it, well, at least the things that I thought were cool enough to go over, starting with none other than Cyberpunk, specifically Keanu Reeves in Cyberpunk. This was easily the biggest highlight of the first day. I think everybody was shocked and surprised, and from what I've heard, Keanu Reeves just isn't a cameo in the game. He's literally like your sidekick in the game, and he helps you with a lot of things. And that's crazy. And then he came out on stage, which is even crazier. And I don't know, 2019 feels like the year of Keanu Reeves, and if it's going to be any indication of 2020, it's also going to be the year of Keanu Reeves, apparently. Leaving off from Cyberpunk, which is kind of hard to do, although we didn't get any more gameplay footage from the announcement, or not the announcement, but the event itself, we are going to move on to Ori and Will of the Wisps. Now, I never played the first one, however, I did watch people play, and I've heard it's a very endearing, very emotional game, and it looks beautiful, and this new one also looks incredibly gorgeous and kind of creepy, actually. Giant spiders, all these giant creatures that just want to kill you. It looks really cool. I'm really into it. I will definitely make sure to play the first one and then play the next one. Maybe we'll even play it here on the channel, which would be really fun. And then we have a game that I want to be so excited for, but I'm so cautiously optimistic about, and that's Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Listen, I like Respawn, and I like Star Wars, and I think this game could be sick. I do not like EA, I don't like their business practices, and I just think that they're really good at destroying franchises, games, and all sorts of things. Great. They're really bad. I don't like EA, but I do like this. I won't get it on release. I'll definitely wait and see what it's like, because who knows at this point, but I am... Please don't screw up the Star Wars game. We've been wanting a good Star Wars single-player game for so long. And then next we have a game called Oninaki. I believe I'm saying that right. And this looked kind of cool. It's kind of like a top-down action RPG of sorts. And I thought it looked really cool. It wasn't like mind-blowing, but it got my attention enough that I was like, yeah, I would like to play that, especially if it comes to the Switch at all. I don't actually remember if they said what consoles it was coming to, but it looked really cool. And then, oh my god, and then we got the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Holy, I was filled with so many emotions, which is funny because I've never played Final Fantasy VII, but growing up I've heard about it so freaking much that this is a big deal, not just for me of course, but for all the fans out there. Now, I did grow up with games like Kingdom Hearts, and I recently got into Final Fantasy 14 and 15, so I'm also excited. Maybe not as much as all of you fans out there who've been playing since, you know, whenever that game came out in like 97, 98. That's ridiculous. I was like 2 then, okay? I can't do anything about it. Maybe I should have played it between now and then. But anyways, this game looks gorgeous. Simply breathtaking. The combat looks great. It all looks so good. My only concern is that they said it's on 2 Blu-ray discs. That's like 100 gigs. And it's only Midgar, which from what I've heard is about the first 5 hours of the game. Now, I have heard that they are going to stretch out Midgar and make it bigger, which as somebody who doesn't know the story or anything, I don't know what they're adding to it, but it would be crazy to get a different experience than what other people got, even though the Final Fantasy VII Remake as a whole will be a totally new experience. I mean, it just looks so unbelievably cool and just so awesome. My girlfriend and I were so excited to see it, and we've never played it. So as outsiders looking into this Final Fantasy VII Remake, it looks great, and I hope it really lives up to all of your guys' expectations. I can't wait to get a hold of it. I really hope, though, we don't have to wait for each... Like, if they're breaking it up and we get Midgard first, I really hope we don't have to wait another, like, 2 to 3 years just to get the next section, which is also going to be, like, another 100 gigs, because that's going to take up space really fast, and I'm going to get really tired of waiting. Next up, we've got Trials of Mana. Now, I've heard of the Mana series, but I've never heard of Trials of Mana, and that's because it went by a different name. I don't remember what the name is, and I'm not going to even attempt to give it a guess, but it's a big deal, apparently. And honestly, from what we saw, I think it looks really cool. The art style actually is one of my favorites that I've seen in a game recently. It was really, really beautiful, and it looked like a ton of fun. Again, it had like this action combat. Maybe somebody can confirm in the old game if it had that, or maybe this is completely different. I believe this is a full remake, and it looked really cool. The combat looked fun, the characters looked interesting, and I really want to play this. Now we get onto a game where I didn't know what to expect, and that's Watch Dogs Legion. I mean, Watch Dogs 1 was kind of disappointing. Watch Dogs 2 was like better, but not really for me. And then Watch Dogs Legion comes out, and I'm like, I actually want to play this a lot. Especially when they show off the old, British grandma just destroying people. She literally walked up to a dude in broad daylight, pulled out a giant handgun, and blew his brains out everywhere. What the? I don't know, but it's a really cool concept that you can play as all these different people and utilize their different strengths to overcome a obstacle or to complete an objective. And I think it has a lot of potential, but we'll wait and see if it turns out like the other ones where I was just kind of like, meh, it's okay, but it's not anything special. So hopefully it is. It looks really cool. I think they're really going out of the box with this one, which is nice to see because Ubisoft is usually pretty, especially when it comes to their shooters, which they have so much of, they don't really do a whole lot of interesting stuff in my opinion. And next we have a game coming from the creators of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Gods and Monsters, and this game looks really neat. It's steeped in Greek mythology, and you're gonna apparently play as this little warrior person, I'm assuming, and it looks like a really cool action combat. It reminds me of Shadow of the Colossus, and I wonder if it's gonna work like that at all, or if it's gonna be more like a Breath of the Wild, where, you know, you can go and do whatever and fight these giant monsters, but who knows, because that's all we got to see. But it looked really cool. I really liked how bright and colorful it was. I always like seeing that. It made me want to go explore, which I'm hoping it is a game all about exploration and just taking down these big badass monsters. Can't wait to see more on that. And next up, we've got Ghostwire Tokyo. Now, we got a cinematic trailer, which is what we got for a lot of E3, which they're cool, but it's not as great as getting actual gameplay because we don't know what it's about. We can't really tell what it's gonna play like. We just have to guess and hope that it's as cool as the cinematic trailer actually is, which is not always a good indication because people like to, you know, make up trailers that don't match the game, which is crappy. But Ghostwire Tokyo had a great presenter. I apologize, I forget her name, but she was wonderful. She was super cute and like bubbly about she showed passion. That's what it was. You know, she showed passion for her game, and I'm so excited to see it. I don't fully understand what's happening in this trailer. There's like, it's modern, but the guy has a bow and arrow. Like, why does he have a bow in a modern setting? And then you see all these other characters that have like these straw hats, and it looks super interesting. And I would love to get more of it. I would love to actually see gameplay and how it's going to work out. It's kind of like Death Stranding at this point, where we just kept waiting and waiting for more so that we could actually understand what's going on. So hopefully we won't be waiting it too long, but we'll get more. Now, real quick, I want to talk about Devolver Digital because I love Devolver Digital. As a publisher for indie games, they do a really good job. If you're playing an indie game with the name Devolver Digital attached, you know it's probably going to be pretty good. Now, not all the games they publish are like incredible, but a lot, especially lately, have been amazing. And they announced a bunch of cool things, especially the Enter the Gungeon like arcade machine. Really cool. Never going to be able to get one, but still really cool. And actually, the game I want to talk about the most from Devolver Digital is actually going to be Carrion. I'm not really sure how you pronounce it. But basically, you play as the monster in a horror movie, which is really cool. We've seen games here and there try this, and it's kind of hit or miss. But in this game, it looks like it does a really good job of putting you in the shoes of the monster and just going on a bloody havoc. I mean, you play as like The Thing. It looks like The Thing, and it's really creepy. If you've never seen the original The Thing, it's one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. And if you don't like horror movies, do not watch it. Don't look up trailers, don't do anything. The movie is the most horrifying thing I've ever seen. And the fact that I get to play that creature in a game is great, because then I'm not scared. What am I gonna be scared of? I'm the monster. I get to go destroy everything. It's kind of like destroy all humans. I'm the alien. Well, I'm not afraid. I'm gonna go destroy everyone. So it's really cool. Can't wait to play it. We'll definitely have to play on this channel. And now we get to what I would like to consider the best conference in all of E3, and it was a Direct. It was Nintendo Direct. And they started off with a bang. They started off with Luigi's Mansion 3, and I know a lot of people aren't excited for some reason, but I think that game looks incredible. The last two were great. Well, sort of. I never played them. I watched people play them. There's a lot of games I haven't played, and I gotta fix that with this channel, I swear. But Luigi's Mansion 3 looks super fun, and it has co-op too. I think it's gonna be great. I really like their Gooigi. It's got a lot of great memes. It's kind of weird, but I love that Nintendo always comes up with these like simple, like, how did you think of this? Like, I could have come up with this, but I didn't, because it's so simple yet so interesting. I just didn't, and it's really cool. I cannot wait to play this game. I am so excited. I love Nintendo so much now, because not only did we get Luigi's Mansion 3, but we got Dragon Quest Hero for Smash Brothers. Now, a lot of people weren't excited for this, but I think this is awesome. He looked like a typical sword user at first, and then as the trailer goes on, he just gets more and more badass, and you see all these other characters, and I don't know how you can't be excited for him. Now, of course, the one that we're all most excited for is Banjo freaking Kazooie in Super Smash Brothers. Oh my god! I cannot believe we're getting Banjo Kazooie! I'm so excited for Banjo-Kazooie. I don't care how fun they are or not. I'm playing it over and over. Grant Kirkhope is coming back to make the music from Banjo-Kazooie and put it in Super Smash Bros. This is a big deal. Everybody should be freaking out. This is gonna be awesome. Now, going off of Banjo-Kazooie, which is hard to do, we need to talk about Pokemon Sword and Shield, because I'm very, very excited for this game, but I'm also a little bit nervous because they keep showing off the wild area. And I think that's the only area that you're gonna get to see the Pokemon out doing their thing, which is really cool looking. And like in one of the videos or the gameplays that they showed off in the Treehouse Live, there was a Haunter and he didn't even battle it. And I wanted him to battle it. It's one of my favorite Pokemon, and he just didn't. But that's okay. My concern is that the rest of the game won't be as exciting. The wild area might be the only area in the game where this like cool stuff happens, where it's open world and it feels like the Breath of the Wild. But if that's it and there's not a whole lot to do there, it's gonna get stale. And I'm kind of scared, and I really hope it isn't like that. So far though, we did get to see a new gym leader, and she's great. All the characters look great. There's so much to love about this game. Even if it does falter a little with the whole Wilds thing, I think it will still be a terrific game, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. I actually really wish I could go play it at E3 right now, but I don't live anywhere near that or have the money, so I'll have to wait patiently like everyone else. And then there's one last game that I've never played, and that's Animal Crossing. Now, I know a lot of people were both very excited and very upset and disappointed. It's a lot of emotions. Basically, everybody's excited because, well, Animal Crossing New Horizons gets announced for the Switch, and that's wonderful. But it got pushed back to March 20th, 2020, which, I mean, good for them, honestly. You should be excited that they're gonna stop and take more time and put more care and love into the game. They're also making it so that their employees don't burn out and, you know, overwork themselves. This is really, really important. This is a big step for somebody like Nintendo. Especially in Japan, we get news of game developers overworking themselves and people in general just overworking so much that their health is deteriorating. So this is really, really exciting to see a company as big as Nintendo going, you know what, we need to wait at least, you know, almost a year. Yeah, almost a year. I'm sorry that you have to wait so long, but there's a lot of games I have to wait for too, okay? And I do want to play this. It's not that high up there for me. I think my girlfriend might enjoy it more than I will because she enjoys a lot of the things that Animal Crossing brings. But again, I've never played it. I'll try it myself. Maybe I'm the one that gets addicted and it's just all over. I'm just down a rabbit hole. Who knows? And then we have to finish with probably the most exciting or second most exciting announcement. And for me, it's the most exciting because I love Breath of the Wild. I haven't beaten it. I need to go back and beat it now. But Breath of the Wild is getting a sequel. Like, this doesn't happen. This is not a thing that happens regularly with Zelda and Nintendo. They don't release sequels to Zeldas, at least not often. So this is a big deal, especially when it's Breath of the Wild, because Breath of the Wild, in my opinion, was just shy of a masterpiece. It could be a masterpiece. I think it is. In my opinion, it is. A lot of people will disagree, and that's why I don't want to call it a masterpiece. So screw it. I thought it was a masterpiece. I loved Breath of the Wild. Yes, there are some things it doesn't do to the point where I'm like, you know, the weapon thing kind of sucked, but it's okay. Not everything is ever going to be perfect. The Witcher 3 was amazing as well, and not everything was perfect. That's okay. But guess what? Breath of the Wild, the sequel, coming out, it looks dark, kind of like if you took Ocarina of Time and then made Majora's Mask. It looks very dark in theme, and I'm really excited. It looks like Ganon is the body, probably, that they saw. It's really creepy. Anyways, super excited. Nintendo definitely won all of E3, probably with Square Enix right behind them. Overall, I heard people saying it was a boring E3, and I don't think it was the most exciting E3, but it definitely was exciting to a degree. I don't think it was boring at all. I had a ton of fun. I'm still hyped. Oh, I forgot to talk about the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening remake. Looks sick. I cannot wait to play this game. I want to play this game. Zelda is killing it. I just realized I'm a Zelda fanboy. That's what it is. They just do everything so well. I've never played Link's Awakening, but I've seen Game Grumps play it, and I cannot wait to play this version. It's going to have some new things so that, you know, not everything is exactly the same, but it looks great. They brought Dampé into here, Dampé, whatever his name is. And I just can't wait. Oh, Nintendo, why you do this? So those are gonna be my thoughts on E3 2019. Let me know if I didn't list a game down here that you're excited for, or if there was one I maybe talked about that you're like, nah, that's not for me. I want to discuss. I just couldn't hold back. I had to make a video about this. I'm sorry I haven't made a video in a while. I am trying to work on it. I've got this green screen thing going on. It's not super great, but we'll get there. I've got all sorts of stuff I'm working on. I appreciate you all being so patient. I love y'all. I guess that's it. That's all I got. Let's go watch more Treehouse Live. All right, peace.